That's 10k, 3k to go. You gotta love this training. It's a privilege just to be able to be out here suffering in heat. I don't mean suffering on a hard run. There's someone somewhere that would give anything to trade places with you to be out training, is what I'm saying. That's on a bit of a deeper level, but you've just got to kind of embrace it, really. There'll be a time in your life where you look back on it, you're unable to do it, put on weight, whatever it is. Just enjoy the process. 12.5k down. I've only got 360 metres to go, 350 metres now, but it's done. It's the main thing. I'm going to do a day in the life video today. YouTube video, bus driving. I'm walking into the depot now this morning. I'm Metroline, Manchester, and I see what the dance is. The bus I'm on has just left the Manchester Royal Infirmary to go back to Central Road because it's been out since 5:30 this morning. I'll check what that is in the depot when I get in there because I'll be able to see, because it's the same running board I'm going to be on. I don't start work for another half an hour, 40 minutes. I've got in there nice and early. I'm going to have a coffee and chill out. I know I'm on board 128. It's a hybrid. I might keep that all day. So that's what bus I'll be on. Check the diversion board. What diversions are on today? Is it just the 368 and 103?
Yeah. Yeah, kilo. Stand changes.
That's not till the end of August, the stand change, is it?
Oh, no, it is it?
Yeah. Right, so the diversion board says niche. We're diverting the 368 and the 103 round PLR Road because PLR Road is closed, I think. Yep, PLR Road's closed, so we won't be going down there, but I'm not on that service today anyway. I'm going to the top, straight to the top, go in the canteen upstairs and have a coffee.
Please select the product.
I'll have a coffee, please.
Please present your card or your mobile phone.
Oh, dear.
Authorized.
There we go. Bosh. 60p for a coffee. That's because I'm too lazy to go and make one over there. But I've got to bring my own gear in for that and put it all in, all the cupboards and all that sort of stuff, and I can't be bothered with that either. Quick and easy. Let's see what the dance is. Today I'm on board 128. I leave the depot at 4 minutes past 10, go to Southern Cemetery. I've got 2 trips on the 111 and I've got a break at Southern. Then I've got 2 trips on the 143. That hybrid should get parked on the meal break bay with the running board in it, and I should just take the hybrid today. Right, mate. Right, I'm not on a hybrid because the board's been took off the bus when it come in. So I'm on one bay, this one. So I'm on a WDS. People have asked me a lot, you know, like, why are you always on these WDSs? And because 90+% of our fleet are yellow. When Metroline took over in January, all the stagecoach buses we had, the Enviro 400, MMCs, which I love, they were the best, they all went. A lot of them went, and we had a big, massive influx of new buses. And they're all brand new, and they're all these ones. So we've got some hybrids here, some electrics here, but you know, it's the luck of the draw whether you get them, because there's just so many of these that need to go out. So this bus has already had its checks done on it. New inspection and defect cards. I'm going to get this done and then leave here and go dead to Southern Cemetery where we pick up the 111. And I'm going to do a full route of the 111. I'll pick the brake up at Southern. I'll mix it in with a day in the life video. I'll mix it in with some 143s later. It'll be quite a bit of a video, so let's see how it goes. Right, I'm going to sign onto this ticket machine and get my ass in gear, and then switch to the eye in the sky, get me out of here, get me to Southern, pick up the 111. Coming into Southern Cemetery now. Get on the stand. I don't have to leave for another 7 minutes, so wow, there's actually someone here. Usually there's hardly anyone here, but not leaving yet. Not for another 7 minutes anyway, so chill out, relax. What I'm going to do is on this route, I'm going to go through the busy bus stops, corners to watch out for, just important points throughout the route where you got to be made aware of for new drivers coming through, and just for the general interest, just to share what it's like for the driver in driving one of these things, picking people up and dropping people off. So let's see what we've got today. We depart here at 10:19. It's currently 10:16, so I'm going to get my numbers up in a minute. We've got 2 people waiting outside, and then we can get this show on the road. We can leave this stand now, the 111. So come out the bus stand, and there's pressure sensors on the floor here that should trigger these lights to a degree. I think they change anyway, regardless of whether there's a bus here, but I'm sure they must do something. We used to do changeovers here for the 101 and the 103 at Southern Cemetery, but we don't anymore. We used to. We used to also have a shuttle service where the depot runs like its own taxi service for drivers, sort of thing, to drop drivers off at the Southern Cemetery and pick them up, and they were like every 8 minutes, but we don't do that anymore either. It's like, now it's, you don't do any pickups here. We never did any changeovers at the other side there, going inbound, but outbound we used to. People who board the 101 and 103 and all that, so now we come round here, out of the bus station, and we adopt the left-hand lane, and we're turning left straight away, and we should have a busy bus stop. That bus stop there at Southern, the first one, there's usually nobody there. I've just picked up 4 people there, so maybe that's an indicator that it's going to be a busy day or busy morning. Doesn't look like there's anybody at that bus stop. But what you got to watch with these, what I've noticed is sometimes passengers, potential passengers, can James Bond you. Do you know where like they're walking toward the bus stop with no clue, and then all of a sudden, as you're driving past, they'll turn around and then shout for the bus just as they get to the actual stop. So there's a guy walking up there now, but no, he doesn't want it, because he's walking around it. So there's nobody at this bus stop, this first one. So that's cool. We've missed the first bit of busyness in the morning anyway, because the first bit of busyness, the rush hour, from like 7 till 9 has gone. So coming up here, there's another bus stop straight away. These are very close together. 4 services, 172, 23, 87 and 111, all stop at that stop. Same as the next one. This is the last stop before we take a left here at Didsbury Mosque. There's nobody here either. I'm going to turn a left here now. At Didsbury Mosque, there's a red post box on the side, just as a little marking point, but you can't really miss it. It's massive, big old church. Now you come round here. We're on Burton Road. And now we've got the 87, the 111, and the 172 comes up this road, I think. Have a check. Thought it was only just us. But this is a 20-mile-per-hour road anyway. And it's tight. There's a lot of give and take. A lot of drivers don't like coming up this road just because of how tight it is. But there's a lot of give and take up here. People pulling for you pulling for people. And if in doubt, just stop. If in doubt, just stop. There's someone at the first bus stop, which is Diverting Community Hospital. So we're going to pull in here. Yeah, 87, 111 and 172. Have a nice day. These buses automatically turn off as well, and it does me head in that. They automatically turn off as if they're not a nightmare enough to get going as it is. So after Withington Community Hospital we move off here, and what you've got here now is Monday. So because it's Monday, everyone gets the passes renewed on Monday, so you can get a lot of weekly passes Usually you're dealing with single tickets and day riders and things like that throughout the week, but Monday and Tuesday, I'd say Sunday and Monday, maybe Tuesday, you can get a lot of weekly passes. We've got a dog on board as well. Right, so we'll come round here. Now, there's another bus stop here, which is a popular one. On peak time, nobody's there. Now, this part here, I'm glad this is here. These lights, these turn green before they turn green on that side of the road, and there's always big wagons unloading and loading here. So the traffic on this side of the road doesn't move, but this side does. So then everyone has to start kind of moving over for you, which you'll see now. Usually that guy up there will stop. Oh, he's not stopped. Yeah, he's stopped. He's finally twigged. You gotta remember, I'm a boss, my guy. And I'm a bit bigger than you in the car. Right, here we go. Come round here. Right, that's a tight gap, that. So round here now, the next bus stop isn't till after we clear these obstacles here. We'll probably get to the timing point late, the first timing point. Because we always do on this service. So there's a couple of people at this bus stop here as well. Pulling in the safeties. Here we go. Now we pull off. There's another bus stop straight ahead up here. There's a low-hanging tree there as well that always bangs off the bus, so you always have to be careful on that bus stop. So we come out here. There's another bus stop just after this next junction where the post box is, where the telephone box is, next to the Go Local store. And what you'll find is that was a mistake. There's that many buttons on these buses, yeah? You know, the getting off buttons that you press to ding the bell. That many buttons that people press them by accident. They're on every single seat upstairs. And you can press it just turning the corner going, holding the pole going upstairs. You can press it by accident. So you get that a lot where you stop without no one getting off. There should be like a cancel button where they can cancel it off. Someone's running for the bus here. So we're at just the 111 here now. No other services stop up here. And we've got a bus coming here. Nice electric one coming round the corner. Now, you get that a lot as well. Just as you're approaching a bus stop where no one's there, your eyeballs will just be trained to see someone legging it for the bus with their hand out, sort of approaching last minute. So we do a left here at Lamb's Accountants. There was a diversion on this last week, but it's not on today. They closed Platt Lane, but that is now off. Now we come up here and we go over this roundabout, and it's a little bit of a tight turn when you come over this roundabout just because of the way people park the cars on this road. So we come over here and go round here. There's 3 people at this stop here. Right, we've got flashed through here by the 87. Thank you. Another bang, knock on the bus. People have asked also why I don't drive single deckers, and that is because every single route that we have needs a double decker bus. We don't have single deckers because of the nature of how busy Oxford Road is, Wimslow Road, Princess Parkway. They're just busy routes. You can't have a single decker on there, they'll get full up too quick. So we don't have them. The school, we used to have them on the schools. I'm not sure if there's any in the depot now for the schools, but I don't do schools because to do schools you have to do permanent split shifts, and I don't fancy doing permanent split shifts. You get your weekends off doing permanent split shifts, but yeah, they're not for me, doing permanent splits. Where you're coming in and then you're going home for the bit of the day, but you're finishing at 6, 7 o'clock every night. I don't mind that every now and again, but not on a permanent basis, no chance. Right, we come over this over this junction here, and there's a bus stop straight away. Which is usually a busy one as well. Off we pop again. There's another bus stop just before this bridge, and there's a bus stop just over this bridge. This bus stop here before the bridge, it kind of hides with behind the bushes, but you can sort of see the lamppost, but nobody's at it, so we can cruise straight over that. We've already had the bell pushed for the next one, but we've got 2 people stood here anyway. Now we're off again. Now we come over this junction here. I believe this is the junction of Wilbraham Road. Or it might be, yeah, it is Wilbraham Road. So we come over, straight over this junction, and then we've got a bus stop again on the left. Nobody's there. That's usually a busy stop though. There's people usually there. So, come over this. Now, the timing point is just up here at Platt Lane, opposite the Platt Lane Sports Centre. So, come through here, there's another junction here that you cross over at Yew Tree Road, the junction at Yew Tree Road. You cross over this, and then the next bus stop is the timing point. There's a 111 parked up there at the timing point outbound, which is Hart Lane. I think I'll fit through there. Yeah, that'd be sweet. Get a bus through that. Come up here now. Here's where I go when I train at the track all the time. So now, let us have a little gander up here. Platt Lane. And we should have got there at 10:32. It's 10:33, so yeah, a little bit tight. There's someone here as well. You think a minute's not much, but a minute can be a lot in a bus because it can just compound. Yeah, a minute can be a lot in a bus because it can just compound. You can arrive to a timing point 1 minute late, 2 minutes late, but if there's a lot of people at that stop, boom, before you know it, you're more than a few minutes behind. Now, we come over this junction here, straight over it, and there's a bus stop on the left straight away, which is a busy one. And then after this bus stop here, there's not one till the top of the road, which is kind of where you do your first tight turning on this route, on Claremont Road. So, come over here, there's a few people at this stop actually already. We can get off that. Oh, we've got a cyclist, no, we've not. Right, now, Straight up here, we've got some pedestrian lights here. These pedestrian lights, I go through this quite a bit. The pedestrian lights are one of the most dangerous lights you post, because you can take it for granted they're just going to be green because you go through them so many times, but you have to always watch to see if there's anyone stood there, because people only need to just breathe near one of them things and it's changing to amber. So there's a bus stop here that we stop at, the last one before the turn-in on Claremont Road. Right, now we indicate off that and we come out and we do our first left here. See, these street decks take these corners well better than the other buses, because you'd struggle if people were parked on the opposite side of the road here. But in these buses, they just seem to handle corners just a lot better. So you do your left here, and there's a bus stop just up here on the left, over past the first speed bump. That's kind of a bit of a popular stop. You usually see people approaching this stop and everything that want the bus. So now, after that stop, you pull out there, Claremont Primary School, and you carry on through the pedestrian lights, and we do a right now. We do a right on the next turning on this junction. Can be a little bit tight depending on what vehicles come through. The lights are on red anyway, so there's no rush. So you always have to stop before the AVL line, before the stop line here, because there's cars sometimes that will go all the way to the front there, and they'll make it hard for the buses turning from Upper Lloyd Street onto Claremont Road. So you do a right, you have to think of it. We're going to do a right at the crunchy fried chicken place. That's how I remembered it anyway. And this is one of them right hand turns that when you do turn right here, you kind of have to wait your turn with oncoming traffic, unless someone's doing a right on this side, or they let you through. We'll come through here. There's a bus stop now on the left which is busy. See, it's a common theme this, you're hearing the word busy, but these are all busy stops. This is a busy one though. If I say it's busy, I mean it's quite a popular stop. We pull off that bus stop and continue on now. Now, we continue on now over the next set of lights, and then we do a right at the church, a nice church. And then we go down Moss Lane East, I think it is. So you come up here. This is all still 20-mile-per-hour roads, this. So this is the junction of Great Western Street. Approach with caution at these lights, because they don't stay on green for long. Go over. That one is usually quite busy. You don't usually fly past that like I just have. Now here's the church on the opposite side of the road, where we do a right here. So that's just like a landmark. I was thinking when I was doing this route, the landmark where to turn would be that church. And then you go down to the bottom of the road where you come onto, basically you come onto Oxford Road just before the MRI at St Mary's, where you meet up with every other service then. You meet up with the 43, the 143, the 142, the 41. They all go the same way. So after you do a right here and serve these next, I think there's about 3 more bus stops on this road coming up. No one's getting off here and no one is here to be served. You meet up with every other service and it's just fair game. People will flag you down because they want to get to Piccadilly, or they know that every bus is going the same way from this point. So if you're, you know, there's 3 people stood at a bus stop and you're in front, you're behind the 43 or the 143 and they're pulling in, they're going the same way to you. So you can go around that bus if no one's getting off, because you don't need to serve that stop, because the 43 is already doing it, or the 143 or whatever it is that's going to pick them 3 people up. If there's a load of people there, you know, like a sea of people, pull over and help them and share the load. But if it's only a couple of people, you don't have to stop. That bus has already got it covered. You go around him and you do the next stop. So So this can be quite a busy street, this, especially at night time. But right now it's pretty chilled. We're going to get the rush hour later. We're going to get the 3 o'clock till 5 o'clock rush hour period. Anyway, this is the last stop here before we turn. Have a good day. Pull off. And when you're doing this job, what you'll see is you see people just diving on for one stop, and I mean like one stop is niche. You won't understand how close the one stops are together, and you can't try and rationalise it and ask questions like why would someone jump on for one. You've just got to let it go, because you're never going to know. You can't ask questions you don't know the answer to. So now you do a left here. A bit of a tight turn in, but you always get round there alright. And the 15 is pulling in, going to Piccadilly. So, I'll tell you what, there's a few people there, we'll help them out. Some people don't even understand that they all go the same way from it, and they'll just flag the bus down anyway, regardless of getting on the one in front. See, so, as I was saying then, every single person at that stop that I just stopped at, behind the 15 stopped there before me, is going the same way. They all got on this bus. And in September, what the new students do, that come in like the Freshers Week and stuff, they get told about the 43, to get the 43. But I don't think there's not enough information out to let people know that a lot of the other buses go the same way as well. So what can happen is you can just overload one service. So I am 3 minutes early to the second timing point on this trip, which is the MRI, the Manchester Royal Infirmary. So I'm just going to pull in here and chill out. Have a good day. Someone's getting off here anyway. Right, come out of here now, this timing point. Leave that on time. Now we're going to go up, and the next timing point is the actual destination point, which is Piccadilly. So we'll come up through here. Got to be careful with these lights, because these lights can change and chop. Now, through.
The next stop is University of Manchester.
They've just recently took all the scaffolding off that Holy Name Church, which I'm glad of. Now, this is a busy stop because the students will stop at this stop, and I've already seen people legging it across the road with a hand out that aren't even at the stop, asking me to wait. Right, now, you come through here now, and we've got the Manchester Museum here on the left. You've got Dover Street. We use that as a diversion sometimes. I've used that once on a diversion. And you just got to be cautious going up this road. You've got to take caution going up it, because these, like I said, every service goes the same way. Yeah, every service goes the same way up this road. So what you're going to find is people are just going to be rushing and jumping around for the bus and putting their hand out at the last minute and trying to flag you down. Now the rule is, if nobody's at the bus stop, you don't have to stop at a bus stop if nobody's there. But if somebody's there, you stop to pick them up. But what you'll get is you'll get people walking toward the bus stop, I don't know, 200 metres away with their hand just out like this. And they're nowhere near the bus stop, but they obviously want the bus, but they're not giving you anything like, it's nice to give something back, you know what I mean? Like, I like to try and wait for people, but, you know, at least show me something, show me a bit of enthusiasm that you're gonna meet me halfway here. But anyone, what we do is now when we stop at these stops, there's a load of services stop here. About 15 services stop at these stops. So we stop at every single stop at the end of the stand coming up here. So these lights, you've got to be careful coming through this junction. These don't stay on green long. What happens is, when you get to this junction here, that light, them lights ahead, they'll turn green first for the traffic doing a right hand turn there, for like the 85s and the 86s and the buses going that way. And then Our lights here will go on green just after them, but they don't stay on green for long. It stays on green longer on that side of the road. Right, so as you come through these lights here, we will get All Saints, which is the last stop before Oxford Road train station. There's quite a few of us stopping here. There's one in front of the 86 and there's an 86. Nice Volvo. So now we come up here, come out. These pedestrian lights get you here as well. These are always changing, these lights. So then you come up past
The next stop is
the Tesco Express. You've got the Holiday and the Kimpton Clock Tower, and the last bus stop before these lights have a red light camera on. And what you'll find is the postmen always stop here. Right. So this can be a little bit of a ropey stop, this, because that post office van there was blocking it in the way with the hazards on. So I had to stop behind it because there was a couple of buses in front. So sometimes what can happen is you can stop there and you can let people off, and then as you pull out round whatever's blocking you and you approach the actual stop, people will be there again waving you down, like that have just arrived because that bus in front has gone or whatever. So then you can end up stopping twice at one bus stop. So we move through these lights here. You get that a lot. You get that a lot. Ambulances, police, and everything just flying up. So now we're coming up past the Kimpton Clock Tower. Palace Theatre on the right. There's no more stops now until we do a right at the top at the McDonald's to turn onto Portland Street. Then is the first stop there we stop at. Caution going through them lights because that's a red light camera on that, and them lights usually stay on green for roughly around about 30 seconds and then they change. So you've got to watch out for the cyclists here. There's a lot of them. You get more of the cyclists as you're further back if you're on the 43 or the 143 early in the morning and people are going up to work. It's like the Tour de France, and we do a right here. And then we get onto Portland Street, and then the next turning after this is the actual bus station, Piccadilly bus station. And this is quite a popular stop here, the first one on the left. Come through these lights. These are filtered, these take you right round, and then we stop here. There's actually 3 bus stops on this road that stretches 300 metres. It don't even stretch 300 metres. This road. People usually get off here. Sometimes people even get on here. I can't wrap my head around that, but they do. Now, because by the time it takes to wait for the bus, you could just walk to Piccadilly. There's another bus stop here on the left, which we never stop at. Nobody's ever at. It's 50 yards away from that stop, but it says all services. And I've never known anyone to stop at it or wait at it. So that one usually just always gets bypassed. And then we come straight over these lights. And then we've got another set of lights here. And then the next bus stop after this is Charlotte Street, opposite Bar Rogue or Bar Rouge, whatever you want to call it. I used to go clubbing years ago when I was about 18. So that's on the right hand side, and you pull in, you let the last people off, nobody gets on there. And then that's it. I should be in Piccadilly in 3 minutes, which I'd probably just get there in time. Not bad really, but it's not rush hour, is it? You got to watch for cyclists coming up this road, especially like the Uber delivery guys and the Just Eat and things like that, because they're ruthless. They'll just come flying up this road on either side of the bus and no one's supposed to go down the inside of your bus here. It's just the gaps are too narrow, but you do. You actually do. So you've just got to be careful. You've got to approach it with caution, this road. It's so busy. Right, so we've just got full green lights there. We come through and we stop at this last stop, which I knew someone was going to stop at anyway. Talk about the Uber delivery guys. We knock the numbers off and we put not in service because we don't need that. We're going to be pulling into the 111 stand, which is 2 stands past the 101 and 103 stand or something like that. It's just before the 142 stand anyway. Someone's pressed the bell. I don't know why people press the bell going into Piccadilly, because it's not like I'm not going to stop at the last bus stop. I've got to. I want to. You know what I mean? I've got to stop at the last bus stop. Sometimes it's just usually kids wanting to press the button, and the mum will go, or the dad will go on, press it now. So we pull into the stop after the zebra crossing. There's a zebra crossing here. Ours is the first stop after that. You gotta take caution when you're going in Piccadilly, because this is a mad place where people don't really pay attention to where they're walking and what they're doing. So we're pulling here now and we are done. We've got in bang on time. It says entry at 10:58. So I've got to turn the engine off, because if I get out of the cab and I have the engine on, all you're going to hear is an annoying alarm. But that's it. That's the first trip into Piccadilly done. And I've got one more trip out now as the 111. Then I've got to come back in as the 111 and back out as the 111. And then I pick my break up at Southern. So that wasn't that bad. That was pretty chilled. I leave here at 9 minutes past 11. And I get back to Southern Cemetery at 11:47. And there's 8 minutes at Southern before I have to leave again. And then the same 11 minutes when I get back here. I get back here at 12:34 and I leave at 12:45. Then get back to Southern for my dinner at 20 past 1. 23 minutes past 1 to be precise. Anyway, I'm going to leave that here for now. That is the 111 route. Boxed off. So I hope you've enjoyed it. These full route videos can be a little bit boring, but if you like bus videos and you like the route, then I suppose it's not, is it? But I appreciate everyone's time, as always.